She's told you the same story 3 times this week, and each time, she laughed like it was the first time she'd ever said it. You corrected her gently once. Then you stopped correcting her at all. Now you just nod along, drive home, and lie awake wondering if that was just her being forgetful or something else entirely. Something you're too scared to name out loud. In the next few minutes, here's exactly what you need to know and how to actually tell the difference. That feeling in your stomach right now, that's not paranoia. That's instinct. You're scared, and you're exhausted from watching every small moment for clues nobody ever trained you to read. You feel guilty for suspecting something's wrong, and guilty for not suspecting it sooner. Maybe you've already started making excuses for her out loud. She's just tired. He's always been forgetful, while a quieter voice in your head says otherwise. You are not overreacting. You are not imagining things. And you are not a bad daughter for noticing what everyone else around you is too busy or too scared to see. Noticing is not betrayal. Noticing is love paying attention. Here's the first thing that trips people up. Forgetting where you put your keys is normal. Forgetting what keys are for is not. Your dad misplacing his glasses is nothing. Your dad finding his glasses and asking what they're used for, that's a completely different conversation. Normal aging slows the brain down. Dementia changes what the brain can actually do. And here's the part nobody talks about. Repetition isn't really about memory at all, it's about anxiety. When she asks the same question 5 times in an hour, she's not failing a memory test. She's genuinely searching for reassurance she can't hold on to long enough to feel settled. Once you see it that way, it stops feeling like she's slipping away from you and starts feeling like she just needs you to answer gently, every single time, without the sigh you're trying so hard to hold back. Most people assume getting lost only happens somewhere unfamiliar. It doesn't. Getting turned around in a mall you've never visited before is normal aging. Getting lost in the neighborhood she's lived in for 30 years is not. That one distinction alone sends more families to a doctor's office than almost anything else on this list. But it gets more complicated than that because language slips too, and not in the way you'd expect. Normal aging is losing a word occasionally and reaching for it a second later. Dementia is losing the thread of the sentence itself, substituting words that don't fit at all. Calling a fork a food stick and not noticing anything is wrong with that sentence. Here's something most people don't realize until much later. Personality changes are often the very first sign arriving before memory ever becomes obviously bad. A calm man becoming suspicious of his own kids. A social, warm woman withdrawing from every gathering she used to love showing up for. If the person feels like they're not quite themselves more than they feel forgetful, that's the detail worth paying attention to first. And finally, judgment. Normal aging might mean one bad financial decision here or there. Everybody has those. Dementia can mean giving thousands of dollars to a stranger on the phone, wearing a winter coat in July without noticing, or leaving the stove on and not smelling the smoke filling the kitchen. This isn't carelessness. This is the brain losing its ability to weigh consequences at all. The part of it that used to whisper, "Wait, is this a good idea?" simply isn't whispering anymore. Here's the truth almost nobody says out loud. You cannot diagnose this from home. And you cannot fix it by watching her more closely, reading every article, tracking every slip, memorizing every symptom. None of that replaces one appointment with a doctor who can actually test what's happening in her brain. The only thing that changes the outcome is getting her seen. Not next month. Not after the holidays. Now, waiting doesn't protect her from this. It just delays the one thing that could actually help her. You came into this video scared, unsure if you were imagining things or finally seeing clearly. You're leaving it with something better than certainty. You're leaving with a clear list of what to watch for, and permission to trust what you've already noticed. So tell me in the comments, what was the first moment you knew something had changed? And if you're still not sure, our next video walks you through exactly what to say at that first doctor's appointment. And if nobody has told you lately, you are doing an incredible job. Subscribe so you never have to face this alone.